Hey everyone, welcome back. I've missed you guys. What you been up to? Well, we're back today in Veronaville, where we're going to be paying the Montys a visit and learn their side of the story. Last episode, if you missed it, we covered the cat family and all their dysfunction, and now we're going to be looking at their fated rivals. So the Montys are a stand-in of the Montague family from Romeo and Juliette, and this branch consists of Romeo, his brother, and their grandparents. Yep, just like the Caps, Romeo is an orphan. His parents passed away mysteriously, possibly due to feud-related reasons. If you caught my last episode, you might have remembered that we got a written confession from Consort Cap about some of the disappearances of the Montys. Wait, hold on, that's another one. That's Olivia Monty. That is another dead Monty. He's just thinking about this. Oh, Consort, what do you know? And hopefully we can take a look at the Monty side of things and maybe gather more information about what happened. All right, let's get started. All right, so here we are at the Monty Ranch. We're greeted to a lovely sight on a Tuesday evening. The boys are playing video games, and we got Grandma Isabella over here shaking that thing. And let's get to know the Montys. First up, we have the patriarch Patrizio Monty. He is also an elder. He's kind of a little further in his lifespan than anyone else. And he is a family sim. So interestingly enough, kind of like Juliette, he's also just about really supporting his family. A lot of his wants are kind of about his wife, which is really sweet. And he just loves all his kids and grandkids, I think. His lifetime want is he wants to, drinks master, take 200 orders as a bartender or barista, which is actually, I didn't pick that one, but it kind of fits too. The Montys, so if the Caps have their funny little business, the Montys are a family of restaurateurs. That's their deal. They own a family restaurant, and it's up to us to determine if they're like a straightforward, earnest family of chefs, or if the restaurant is maybe a front for something, if you get my drift, like making shady deals with cash pass under checkered tablecloths kind of family, if you get what I'm saying. And while it is just them being in some kind of culinary career, I thought it'd be kind of fun this time around to try to make them have like an actual playable functioning restaurant, which you can do with the Open for Business expansion pack. But you can see here, he's a very good cook. He's also very creative. I think he's like way more skilled than Consort, which is kind of funny. In fact, one of his fears is burning his food. But yeah, so that's kind of the Monty's deal. They run a restaurant, but I don't see the Montys as having a very strict line of succession like the Caps do. I think the restaurant, or the title of head chef at the restaurant, was going to go to Patrizio and Isabella's oldest son, Claudio, who is Romeo and Mercutio's father. But after Claudio passed away, which we'll explain about a little bit later, it went to his second son, Antonio. That's the other thing with the Monty family, is they are patrilineal in contrast with the Caps, who are matrilineal. So his relationships is interesting. So he has two bolts of chemistry with his wife Isabella, but they're actually not in love right now. And it feels like the relationship almost went a little cold, but thankfully, since he has a lot of wants to be romantic with her, hopefully that should help put a spark back into things. He does like his grandson. These are his two grandsons that live with him, of course. This is his daughter Bianca, his grandchild Sebastian, and his son Antonio. Got a couple more people in town. And then, of course, he hates all the Caps. All the Caps, especially Mr. Consort. Consort's at a -90. Woof. So the Monty family tree. So the Montys, unlike the Caps, are patrilineal too. So it actually starts with Patrizio's family. So we got Valentine and Sylvia Monty. And on Isabella's side, there's Francesca and Vincentio Pantalone. One last thing regarding ancestors is I'm using a clean template that was intended to cut down on character files. So the Monty family normally has ancestors that span like 5 generations like the Cap family did. But because this clean template decided to prune the family tree a little bit, this isn't as evident. But I wanted to point this out, that the Montys, along with the Caps, are kind of old families. And they have 3 children. We have Bianca, Antonio, and Claudio. I think this is a little bit out of order, but it's kind of implied that Claudio is the oldest, and he is the father of Romeo and Mercutio. And kind of like the Caps, Claudio and his wife Olivia had both passed away, leaving the 2 boys orphaned and living with the grandparents. Bianca does not have any children, and Antonio was married to a woman named Hero, who has also passed away as a casualty of the Cap and Monty feud, as I kind of mentioned with Consort's Diary. And they have 2 children in town. These 2 actually do have different names in the vanilla game, but I changed them to Viola and Sebastian, which is a pair of twins in one of Shakespeare's stories, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I did that when I get to that family. As I mentioned before, he is a retired celebrity chef, which is good for him. I believe both he and Isabella are chefs too, which is really cute. They're like a celebrity chef power couple. His symbology, he's a Sagittarius. He's very neat. I don't think I've ever really picked up on that. And he is also a little on the lazy, serious, and grouchy side. And we got a bio for him that reads, through his hard work, Patrizio has become the dawn of llama ranching. But will his grudge against Consort Cat prevent him from enjoying his legacy? It definitely doesn't factor in, but I kind of like the idea that at some point they have owned just a bunch of pet llamas. Also, dawn is an interesting choice of words, might be tying to what I was saying earlier about the Montys having some unsavory connections around town. All I'm saying is I would not be surprised if Consort woke up with a severed llama head, courtesy of Patrizio. His memories, could tell he's made a lot of enemies recently. Kind of like Consort, there's, kind of started with a happy childhood, met Consort, became friends with Consort, so they were once again childhood friends until things went south, met Contessa, and then he got a job. So if you notice here, even though I said he was a retired celebrity chef, he actually started out in the business career, probably alongside Consort and Contessa. Then they made best friends. And then, sure enough, it looks like he started dating Contessa, or at least they started kissing. He fell in love. And then Patrizio's memories don't show that he got cheated on, so I don't think it was a case of Contessa two-timing him, but we do know that ultimately she ended up going with Consort, and that's where things started getting a little bit rocky between the Caps and Montys. But I don't think this is the catalyst for the family feud, or at least I'd like to think there's a lot more going on than just a simple love triangle. In fact, if we look at his next couple of memories, he got fired from the cat conglomerate, so I don't know if Consort and Contessa teamed up after he kind of fell out of favor with them and literally cost him his job. But that seems to be where things started going sour, right? He starts making enemies with everyone. And honestly, I can't say I blame Patrizio. It's kind of a dick move on the Cap's part to just toss him out after this whole ordeal. But don't worry, he turned his life around, probably started his own little restaurant, got a job, and kind of moved up for the ranks. He met Isabella. Unfortunately, his parents died, and kind of like Consort, we've noticed that, he fell in love with Isabella, got engaged. It's really cute. And his father also died, unfortunately. And something I did notice is, once again, they both died as adults. So I don't know if perhaps the full story we're getting here seems to be that Patrizio and Consort were feuding with each other at this point, or actually it seems like it was just broken to a full Caps and Monty feud. And because of that, they started taking out each other's parents. That's the vibe I'm getting here. But life goes on. He got a promotion. He had Claudio, taught Claudio to talk, and had his son Antonio. Both grew up well. I was kind of under the impression that Claudio and Antonio were twins, but it looks like that is not the case. Taught Claudio to study, got promotion, had his daughter Bianca, got a promotion. Bianca grew up well. He actually remembered maximizing a bunch of skills, reaching the top of his career as a celebrity chef, growing up well, having his grandchildren, that's MERCUTIO and Romeo. And then MERCUTIO also growing up badly. MERCUTIO is also the same way Tybalt's like the problem child of the Cat family. I think MERCUTIO is that for the Monty family, which is an interesting little parallel between the two. Viola and Sebastian, these are Antonio Monty's children, grew up well. And then Claudio died. Claudio's wife Olivia died. And then Antonio's wife Hero died recently. And then just made enemies with the entire Cap clan. He met Juliette recently and retired. All right, so Isabella, maybe I'll let her... She's telling a very hilarious joke right now. Let me unpause so I can get a good look at her. There we go. Oh, she's adorable too. She's got like a nice little smile. She's very much like the stereotypical Italian grandma. I kind of love that for her. But Isabella, she's very similar to Patrizio. She's also a family sim. She wants 6 grandchildren, which is very fortunate because I think she's like 2/3 of the way there. And she also had the want to obtain a pet, which I think is kind of cute too. I can see the Montys having a couple animals around. Let's see, anything different here? So she is on good terms with Patrizio. It's interesting that they don't have any romance flags. I don't know if that was intentional by Maxis or if that was just a little bit of an oversight. But since they have like a bunch of wants to like kiss each other and stuff, I'm not too worried about that. She does seem to have a slight preference for Romeo, I think, over all her grandchildren. And she does not like Juliette. She does get along well with one of the fairies, Oberon, it seems. And of course, she hates the rest of the Cat family. Pretty extreme. She kind of carries a grudge against Consort as well. even though she wasn't personally affected. In fact, I don't even know if she knows that the beef started over Patrizio liking another woman. But either way, she's got his back. She is also, even though she married into the Monty family, she is as committed to beefing with the Caps as any true-born Monty, which I gotta respect. Like I said, her family tree is identical to Patrizio's. I don't even know why I pulled it up. And she is also a retired celebrity chef with maxed out cooking, cooking and creativity and pretty high logic, which are the skills you need to achieve that rank. So she and Patrizio both kind of worked their way up to the top of this career and kind of ran a stellar restaurant. She's an Aries, just like me. I love it. Love to see it. She's a little on the sloppy side. She's a little more outgoing and then kind of just middle of the road with a lot of things. She's just as lazy as she is active, serious as she is playful, and grouchy as she is nice. And her bio says, Isabella's culinary talents have long been the cornerstone of the Monty clan. But will her secret recipe for the perfect baked Alaska heal old family wounds? I love that. I love that she's trying to fix the family through food. Once again, the Montys are kind of stereotypically Italian, and as someone who is Italian on my mother's side, I'm like, it's not entirely inaccurate sometimes, but it's very funny to see this kind of play out. It's her memories. Once again, making a bunch of enemies, remembering a bunch of deaths in the family too, but it's kind of the same thing. She grew up well. Lost her father pretty young, too, which is kind of unfortunate. And then she met Patrizio, had her very first kiss with Patrizio, and then met Consort and Contessa and just immediately hated them on sight. Isabella is so ride or die. I love her. Got more serious with Patrizio. Her mother, Francesca, died, which is very unfortunate. I don't know if these two are supposed to be casualties of... This guy's... I like your face, sir. You got a fun little face. I don't know if these two are supposed to be casualties of the feud or just unfortunate accidents. Like I said, Vincentio just died when she was very young and before she was really involved with the Caps, but maybe Francesca's death is correlated to the feud. It's hard to say, but she did fall in love with Patrizio. They started up their restaurant together. They got engaged. They got married. And then they started having their kids, Claudio, Antonio, and Bianca. And kind of the same thing, had a bunch of grandchildren. Maximize creativity skills, doing good in the career. Like I said, Mercutio, unfortunately, is not growing up well. He's not thriving in this Veronaville environment. Reached the top of the career, met some more grandchildren. Once again, Romeo's doing well. Mercutio, not so much. It's unfortunate. Met Albany and Cornwall. Twins grew up well, and then just this whole string of deaths and feuds. Oh, then they met Juliette and retired. I forgot, does Patrizio like Juliette? Nope. Okay, he also does not like Juliette. They definitely do not approve of their grandson's choice in relationships. It's not hard to see why. For Isabella's traits, I gave her a natural cook, of course. I think she got randomized to be flirty, and I love that for her, so I kept that. She's friendly. She's a bookworm, which is kind of fun, and she's also a little hot-headed, which was once again randomized, but you know what? She's an Aries, and she's Italian, and as someone who is also both those things, it's not inaccurate. It's not entirely wrong, but that's Isabella. Let's talk about the kids. All right, so first up, we got my boy Mercutio over here. So Mercutio in the play is Romeo's buddy. He's kind of a silly little guy. And in here, he's been upgraded to being Romeo's brother, which is pretty fun. Mercutio's a popularity sim. He's actually got a lot of friends in town, too. He likes Romeo. He's friends with Oberon. He's friends with Miranda Cap. And then he has a crush on Hermia Cap in canon. And I decided to do something a little bit different this time around. After seeing like the 1997 portrayal of Romeo and Juliet when I was younger, I've always kind of seen Mercutio, the Shakespearean character, as queer. So in this game, he did roll bisexual, and I thought I'd kind of switch things up by giving him both a crush on Hermia and Puck Summerdream. Unfortunately, I think Puck is straight in this iteration, but, I'm rooting for you, Mercutio. As for the rest of his relationships, he likes his grandma and grandpa pretty well. He likes his little cousins. And, of course, he hates both Juliette and Tybalt. That's kind of the main thing. He doesn't really know the other cap, or he gets on, actually, with some of the other caps, but he definitely still kind of carries that grudge. He is a public school student. He has a C grade, which isn't too bad, And then he is also employed in the family restaurant. He's a drive-through clerk, and he needs all of the skills to be promoted, but got a lot of friends too, so that helps him get a leg up. He's a Sagittarius, very sloppy, a little lazy, outgoing, and playful. And Mercutio's bio says, good-natured and warm, Mercutio is the joker of his family. Can his good humor smooth the feuding family's ruffled feathers? We'll see. I like the idea of trying to solve the feud with jokes. Let's keep that up, Mercutio. Definitely calls back to his Shakespearean iteration, who is very rarely keeps things seriously. Even when he is dying, he's still trying to make jokes about it too. I respect a man like that. This is why Mercutio is one of my favorites. I'll be honest here. For memories, ooh, gosh, already just a bunch of red. Mercutio also kind of had a rough go with things, it looks like. Just grew up badly. I don't know if that's related to it's like Romeo joined the family and then immediately he had a bad memory of it. But kind of similar stuff. Remembers a bunch of his relatives growing up well. Remembers meeting a lot of the kids in town. Meets Viola, Sebastian, Juliette, Hermia, Miranda. Became enemies with Tybalt. Once again, this was a very early feud. Grew up badly again, and then most recently remembered both his parents dying, Claudio and Olivia, and then his aunt Hero. But he got a promotion, so hey, things might be looking up for him. All right, and the traits I gave him was good sense of humor, of course, rebellious, natural cook, which is kind of the Monty family trait, and then he got randomized to have great kissers. So, you know, if things work out with either of your crushes, Mercutio, I'm rooting for you. And then, of course, last but not least, maybe, we have good old Romeo. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? So Maxis was a little diabolical with this one. Romeo, if you can tell, is a romance sim, which is like the player aspiration, essentially. He wants as many romantic partners as possible, which makes him very incompatible with family sims like Juliette. I don't know what Maxis was cooking here, but it does kind of align with the character Romeo's characterization a little bit. In the beginning of the play, he was actually in love with another woman named Rosaline, and he was just, to him, she was his entire being. He was so distraught that she wasn't returning his feelings. And then he drops all of that the second he sees Juliette. So I guess making Romeo this kind of serial romantic kind of fits too. So I understand that, but man, it is a choice. Right now, I don't really pay attention to teen lifetime wants so much because I like kind of having them figure themselves out first. But I did notice his is have 20 simultaneous lovers. He wants 20 girlfriends, and already we can see he has a want to flirt with Hermia, the absolute dog. He also wants to make out with Juliette, which is part of like the scripted events. We're gonna invite her over and have family feud shenanigans run awry. Let's see, he is besties with his brother though, likes his grandparents, likes Juliette, of course. They just, if you remember, started going steady, and then is on pretty good terms with the rest of the town too, likes Puck, his friend. Interestingly enough, even though he wants to flirt with Hermia, does not have any chemistry with her. And then of course hates Consort and Tybalt because they're jerks. He is also a public school student, has slightly better grades, has pretty charismatic. Romeo's definitely got a little bit of riz. And he is a dishwasher. Needs some cooking skill points before he can get out of being a busboy. And then for his memory, or his symbology, he's also an Aries. Yay. He's also sloppy, outgoing, kind of in middle of the road, and then pretty on the nice side too. I like that Juliette leans a little more mean, and he is a little bit sweeter too. That is one thing we can say about Romeo. And then his bio is naturally charismatic and handsome. Romeo's on his way to becoming quite the heartbreaker. Will he meet his match in Juliette? You know, that's another kind of obstacle to their relationship. On top of this feud, can Juliette also kind of maybe convince him to settle down? We'll see. If we look at his memories, first thing we can notice here is went steady with Juliette is a negative memory. And the description for it says, I guess I have to confine myself to just this sim now, but I don't know if I can keep my word. Already we're off to an interesting start here. Let's see, he remembers his brother growing up badly. That's rough. Learned to walk and talk from his parents. Remembers his uncle getting married. His aunt growing up well. He grew up well. Yeah, pretty much met all the kids in town, including his little cousins. Made best friends with Mercutio. I do like they were besties from early on. Met Hermia. Mercutio grew up badly. Romeo grew up well, so it's kind of interesting that Romeo's kind of had like a little bit of an easier childhood. I wonder if that's just kind of like an older sibling, first sibling, second sibling kind of thing. But good old Bottom Summer Dream, yes, that is her name. Got a job at the family restaurant, became besties with Juliette. After becoming besties with Juliette, he made enemies with Juliette's brother, of course. remembers the twins growing up well, had his very first kiss with Juliette. And then where we left off, of course, his parents died, his aunt died, met consort, which honestly, I would make that a negative memory. And then, of course, like I said, went steady with Juliette. They are boyfriend-girlfriend now, and he's not thrilled about it. Oh, Romeo, what have you gotten yourself into? For traits, he got randomized to have vehicle enthusiast. I kind of like that. You can have this fun little hot rods. A schmoozer, flirty, and a light sleeper, which I think was a randomized, but I like that. That kind of contrasts with Juliette being a night owl. These two have, you know, they can have their romantic evenings where they sneak away together. And that is the Monty family in its entirety. Let's get to playing their scripted events. Okay, so we're going to start playing things per the scripted events, which means getting Juliette over here. And I'm sure Mercutio's thrilled that Romeo just put down the game when he was trying to get into it. Let's see here. Got Miss Juliette at the Cat Manor. Let's invite her over. Oh, and Mercutio missed work today, and that doesn't impress the higher-ups too much. Be careful, or maybe Mercutio's job next time. Aren't the boss like your grandparents? Like, they should be able to look this over. Oh my gosh, look at Grandma and Grandpa dancing. That is so, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. See, I knew they'd get that spark back. Aww. And then we're gonna have Romeo wait for Juliette. Sir? Hey Romeo, what are we doing? Like, think of the spikes. Like, think of the cacti spines that are now embedded in your palms. Okay, well, so Romeo's gonna be smelling cacti while he waits for Juliette. Oh, got some romance over here. Oh my goodness. Someone's got a crush on his wife. How embarrassing. Oh, and they both want their relatives to get engaged. That's nice. That's very sweet. All right, so we have Romeo going to greet Juliette, but there's a twist. You see, since lovely Juliette got caught sneaking out last time and busted by the cops, now Consort is now making her take an escort with her whenever she goes out at night because he knows that she is up to no good. And unfortunately for everyone involved, that escort is her brother Tybalt, who is probably going to start a fight in a second and is probably not thrilled to be here. Not thrilled about watching his sister grab Romeo's ass, but we're gonna have them kiss each other somewhere in this menu. There we go. Well, Tybalt infiltrates the Monty compound. I can't imagine this is any good. Oh, okay, they're playing video games. Maybe getting along for once too. Let's see. Let's go back out to the. Oh, okay. Okay, you two. So now per scripted event, Mercutio is going to actually come over and torment Juliette. Normally this is all pre-scripted. The characters will just do this, but of course we're going to have to fudge everything. Oh, she thinks he's so handsome. And these two just can't get enough of each other. So Mercutio is going to go, well, I think he's supposed to insult Juliette, but I like whatever this is. Playing a little prank on her. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. What a jerk. Mercutio's gained enough enthusiasm with games. Okay, this interaction isn't what I was expecting. This isn't achieving the desired effect I was hoping. But that's okay. I'm gonna see how this ends. That's fine. Anyway, irritate. Yeah, let's do a normal insult. I actually seem to be getting along after that. But no, Mercutio's supposed to be telling her off. Like, what are you doing here? Cats aren't allowed on this property. Ooh, look at Juliette. She's so mad. And that is supposed to prompt Tybalt to start a fight with Mercutio, but I think we're just gonna have to start that ourselves. So let's just do... Oh yeah, no, look at these two fighting each other. It's all sorts of mess. What are you up to, Romeo? Romeo's reading the paper. Oh, and also... Okay, and here we go. Great, we've got these two fighting each other. And Juliette just can't take it. She's got to leave. Romeo could not give less of a shit while these two duke it out. So normally, I'm rooting for Mercutio here, but if you know how the play goes, this does not end well. This usually does not end well for him. But you got this, Mercutio. I believe in you. Get that villain. I love how much the family does not care about what's going on outside. Oh, oh no, oh. Like I said, now in this playthrough, I should start rolling if like this is like an actual death, which would, oh, and here they go again, okay. Oh my God. Mercutio, you gotta take the L. Tybalt's been training for this his whole life. Like while we've been doing normal teenage things, he's just been studying the blade. We gotta regroup and re-strategize. Get out of my way, Tree. I've never seen the fighting animation of 4K until now. Oh God, this is embarrassing for us, Mercutio. We can't do this again. We can't do this a third time. Okay, no, yeah, there we go. Romeo's gonna defend your honor. See, this is just like Romeo. This is just like the play. Well, Juliette does not give a shit about any of this. And it's just playing a game. Okay. Unbothered queen. Alright, so Romeo's dates room. That's okay, because he wants to make out with 3 different Sims. We're gonna get everyone just off this lot. Tybalt, why are you crying? You're the one who like infiltrated the Monty compound. I don't know what you're thinking here. Wait, who just whistled at who? And now we're talking about aliens. Well, Julia is just leaves the premise. And yeah, that's a scripted events in a nutshell. It's so silly. But let's spend a few more hours with them. We can get a tour of the house too. I really like this house. Definitely, well, I'm going to renovate the Cap household. I like kind of just keeping the Monty one the same and just moving a few things around. It's definitely this really cute little Italian villa. We have this room here, which is kind of in memoriam to Claudio and Olivia. Have a random bathroom over here. Have the boys' room over here where they have their trash everywhere because they got 3 neat points. This terrible little claustrophobic living room that somebody put a newspaper in the middle of. I'm just gonna move that. My big ass palm trees. I've default replaced all the trees. They're by T. Vicky Sims. They're very gorgeous, but man, are these palm trees tall. I don't think they're supposed to be like that. And they're talking about how much they hate makeup and fish too. I love that for them. Oh, Grandpa, you gotta go to the bathroom. Grandma, you do too. The bathroom situation and just the routing situation in general in this house is a bit of a nightmare. You're gonna go over here, but I do like, this is the like master suite. Oh, who the hell? What the fuck? Wait. I'm sorry. The boys are fighting now too? What the Excuse me, who did that? Mercutio! Romeo, oh my gosh. Okay, welcome to Veronaville. All we know is violence. I don't even know how that started. They were fine beforehand. They were besties. Mercutio's a best friend. Want to fight with Mercutio? Mercutio, this is so bad for you. Oh God. Okay, stop fighting your brother. Okay, this is not the Pleasant household. We're not gonna be doing this. Why doesn't... Oh God, this is... Yeah, I'm sorry, Romeo. Your date went terrible. Your brother insulted your girlfriend. Then he got in a fight with you. Then you guys all got into a fight with Juliette's brother. It's a whole mess. Grandpa, why don't we make some dinner? You know, what's that talking about? Like the baked Alaska to heal the feud. I think we're gonna need that for this household. I'm very excited I tried the cuisine activity. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, I could never have guessed your hobby was cuisine, Patrizio. You were only a chef for like 50 years. I'm gonna lock that, actually. And buy an orchard tree. Wait, that's fun. Oh, I love the idea of the Montys having like a giant... Sorry, I'm doing like 5 billion things at once. I love the idea of the Montys having a giant garden. Maybe that's where they source their food from the restaurant. And since they're supposed to be kind of Italian, I'm gonna give them like a nice little orange tree. Once again, this is a default replacement. I think it's gorgeous. Anyway, back to the action. What the hell happened, you two? Okay, she wants to play with Romeo. She wants to flirt with Patrizio. He wants to flirt with Isabella. Mercutio. This ain't good. And he's running all the way around the house. The routing in this place is a little abysmal. Okay, he's happy about the tree, though. He is happy. I'm sorry, man. I throw tantrum. I'm sorry, MERCUTIO. I don't know how to help you.
See, because the way it looks right now, it almost seems like this tree is just the breaking point for MERCUTIO. Like, he can't just take this shit anymore.
Let's see. He wants to have a party, win a game, win a fight against Sybil, and meet new people. We could... It's like 2 a.m. on a Wednesday, so I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Go eat your pork chops. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but we could just send MERCUTIO out and try to see if he can meet some new people. Maybe like the Europa and Berrybury kids might be a better influence, because the Veronaville kids are not doing it. This is so terrible, and unfortunately, if the Summer Dream scripted events go according to plan, it's gonna get worse for him. Oh my god, he's got... Guys, he has 2 bolts of chemistry with Juliette and Tybalt. I think MERCUTIO just likes people that can beat him up. Like, I think that's his deal. This is terrible for us. MERCUTIO, we're gonna have you go out and meet new people. This is not good. Why do you hate Romeo? What happened here? I guess the only thing I can think of is like he's doing so badly that he just started picking a fight, and unfortunately his normal punching bag had already left the scene, so he went after his little brother, which is not fair. Not fair at all. Romeo's doing great though. He's already thinking about meeting new people and trying to find 3 different girlfriends. I respect it, Romeo. You absolute dog. Speaking of dogs, these 2 want pets. I think that's really cute. What do you want now? A garden plot? We could do a garden, actually. That's kind of fun. I'm gonna lock that in. I will do a little bit of a mini renovation for the Monty household because I already really like how it looks. So I'll do a little mini renovation, and oh god, MERCUTIO, you're moving so fast, I get worried about you. I'm gonna put away the leftovers. Oh, that's cute. He wants to hang out with Grandma. We could do some, like, Monty bonding time. Why are you running everywhere, sir? You know what? I like this idea. Romeo, do you want to join in? Yeah, let's hang out with Isabel. Oh, look at... Okay, Romeo's being a good guy. He's cleaning some plates and stuff. Romeo, I have such conflicting feelings about you. I gotta admit it. Like, you're a nice person, but why this? Why this? Why are you like this? You know what? I think it would be fun. We could have you guys all... I like the idea of the family all kind of hanging out in the kitchen. That's really cute. I don't like that the table's right in the way, but what can you do? Oh, cuddle under stars. Wait, that is adorable. But no, let's have a little bit of a family bonding time. Oh, okay. MERCUTIO is not... Never mind. MERCUTIO's not having it. He's gonna go play some video games. You know what? Maybe that is what he needs right now. Or Romeo just chills with Grandma and Grandpa on the kitchen floor. Okay, never mind. It's 5 a.m. I just noticed the time. We're gonna get everyone to bed. And I gotta figure out what I'm doing with these palm trees because they are so pretty but so big. I don't know if I love them, like, taking up every shot, but that is going to be the Monty household. This was a short one. This was a sweet, not very sweet one, actually. A lot of violence here. Both expected and unexpected. Somebody still awake? Okay, everyone's going to bed. Go sleepy. And I think that is where we'll call it here. Oh my god, you guys got school in an hour. Okay. Alrighty, that's the Monty household. Let's move on to some fairies.